Addiction is a chronic condition where one engages compulsively in a substance or activity despite harmful consequences. This is a condition that is complex that can develop through a multitude of factors. People can be genetically predisposed to addiction, which makes them more susceptible to addictive substances or behaviors, while factors like stress, trauma, and mental health issues can drive individuals toward addictive behaviors. Psychologically, today we want to talk about the addictions, and we thank you for joining us on another episode of Reconfiguring Reality. I am, once again, the jerk.
I'm Jesse.
And I'm Laura.
Well,
Addictions.
it, it's a disease actually from the AMA. They consider it a disease, not a condition.
Isn't a condition a disease? I'm confused.
A condition is well, a disease is a condition, but a condition is not a disease.
Yeah, so it's more specifically known as a chronic brain disorder, is what addiction
Ah,
is. At least by AMA and AM standards, they considered a disease.
I didn't know if what we wanted to lean towards for addiction today. Did we want to talk just drug addiction or all addictions? How do we want to do
Well,
that?
but I
so
think we kind of opened it as all addiction, right?
all addictions kind of base off of the same thing, but some are a little bit because of like the chemicals that you ingest if you're a drug addict or an alcoholic. It's a little bit worse. I won't say worse. It affects you as a person, both, let's say, financially, emotionally, but it also damages your body. Whereas, let's say you're a gambling addict,
Uh-huh.
it you may not have the same type of physical effects as being a gambling addict as you would, let's say, like a sex addict, where you're more prone to STIs, stuff like that, or a drug addict where you can overdose, or an alcoholic where it's going to damage your liver and stuff like that.
I actually have a topic of addiction that I was looking to cover.
What's that?
I'm
Video
afraid to
game
know.
addiction.
Look, I'm afraid to ask.
Is is that really I'm not like trying to belittle it, but I personally,
Right?
I've known a gambling addict. I've known
Sure.
gambling addicts, sex addict. Like,
Well,
I've never met anyone that has ever sat there and said, "Well, yeah, I'm a video game addict." Like, I don't
Any
even know if
obsessive
they.
behavior can become an addiction. It
well,
doesn't
let's talk
require it to
about that.
be, one of the normal vices.
Let's talk
Uh,
about that though. I have a list of 15 of the most common addictions. Do you want to try to guess what they are?
Now, when
you
you say
interrupted my talk. Rude.
well, maybe she's trying to lead into that. That is one of the top 15 addictions or in
Is,
people.
is that your
But
guess, Jess?
no, hold on. But when you say top 15, is it like individual drugs or
And
is
based
Oh,
off
drug
whose
no, no,
decision
no,
of
addiction?
top 15?
no. And I don't remember where I found this. It's
Oh
on
my
the
goodness.
internet somewhere. So,
Okay,
but these are
but so drug addict is like all drugs are under drug addiction.
no, not necessarily.
See, that's where it gets difficult.
Hmm.
Well, I already know that sex, gambling, alcoholism. I mean, hell,
You could loop all that technically under substance abuse, right?
Those are all individuals already. Mhm.
okay, I'm assuming cocaine's in there.
Cocaine is a stimulant, correct?
Yes,
So
it's an upper.
it would be blanketed under the stimulant addiction.
Oh, so they put categorized them. So then you have your downers, which are depressants.
That is not on here.
Oh, okay.
No. Adrenaline junkies.
I do not have that either.
See,
Is
that one's
video
not
game
listed.
addiction on there though? I'm
It is.
curious. It is. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so
it's like porn addiction
That is
and
also on
and sex
but
addiction.
wouldn't
here.
that
That
be
is on
under
here.
sex addiction or
No, because sex
Not.
because
addiction
you're
is
not
the desire
engaging
and
in the act?
right, you're absorbing the content. Phone addiction is
Oh,
is a newer one, which
But
is really more related to the type of media we're consuming nowadays. But it's an addiction where you're endlessly scrolling because you're getting it's a dopamine addiction is what it really is. Because it's giving your brain, it's tricking it into believing that it's learning and acquiring knowledge, and therefore it's seeking out things that it particularly likes. But it's kind of like a sugar addict who's left in a candy store,
caffeine.
you know?
um uh
I think that'd be under stimulant.
phone phone is
Yeah.
not phone is not on here. Caffeine is under stimulant, but you said
Okay.
something else, Jericho.
That's a
He
lot of
said
things. You got to narrow it
porn.
down.
He said, oh my God. No.
No, in the last statement that you made, you said sugar, right?
Yeah, sugar's an addiction.
Right. Food is addiction.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Shopping.
Shopping is an addiction.
yep. Any vice, any activity, any hobby can become an addiction. You,
Jess, tobacco
Yes.
and nicotine.
I don't consider that an addiction. I can quit at any time.
Oh, that's what we all say.
yeah. Rom-coms, big addiction.
Okay, internet is an addiction.
I'm trying to think how to attention.
That's not on here. Um, the other ones that are on here that you guys, they're kind of like we covered them kind of, but not really. We have the opioid
Okay,
addiction,
yeah.
Yeah.
prescription drug, which encompasses like all the other things like uh I don't know, any prescription drug that you don't use correctly, basically. Cannabis.
Yeah. I disagree with that one strong.
I so do I.
Says the drug
Hallucin
addict.
halluc
Like,
Recovering drug
hallucinogens.
addict, thank you very much.
Hallucinogens
oh, you
and
mean like when like women go into a shop and they ask for a size small when they know better?
and inhalants.
Oh yeah, huffers.
Uh-huh.
Never was my thing, so
All right, so back to video
It
game
wasn't my
addiction.
thing either. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Back to your addiction that you were discussing.
Yes, so video game addiction is an addiction. That's often a common question for people, right? Is it just a bunch of lazy kids or whatever? So it clinically referred to as internet gaming disorder, and
mm.
it's a serious disorder leading to significant personal and social impairment. It can impact anyone, children, teens, adults seem to be affected. While there isn't robust literature on the prevalence of this disorder, in representative samples of children and adolescents, 2% were affected by internet gaming disorder. So, so when it becomes an addiction, the American Psychiatric Association Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, fifth edition, text revision, DSM-5-TR,
Mhm.
which mental health practitioners use to diagnose substance-related disorders and other mental health disorders, currently only includes one behavioral addiction, and that's a gambling disorder. Internet gaming disorder is mentioned in there in the section that recommends conditions for further research. It notes that internet gaming disorder must cause significant impairment and distress in several aspects of a person's life. Not all researchers agree that video gaming is harmful or addictive activity. Many people believe that video games expand the imagination, give individuals opportunity to work collaboratively, sharpen cognitive skills. Yet when people spend most of their time playing video games at the expense of work, school, physical exercise, family, social activities, etc., the benefits of gaming seem far less certain. So it's a hot button topic and it has been so since the inception of video games, right?
Mhm.
Especially for us older people who remember, hey, if you're going to stare at the TV, you're going to go blind. You play that thing,
Hmm.
your brain's going to rot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea was an argument at the time of values. It was we're used to playing outside all the time. We're used to don't come home until the lights come on, right? Now your
Right.
kid is basically glued to a boob tube, so they can't possibly be benefiting of it. This was also the effect on role-playing games for a short time, where they would blame any crime on a role-playing game. Just, oh, the guy had a D&D book and he committed suicide. He must have done it because he's a cult worshiper D&D user, right?
Yeah, that
Like,
was big in the 80s, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
blaming.
that and the vampire one.
yeah, and they did that because they simply didn't understand it. It was a, it's a cultural difference, right? When rap music came out, oh, it's going to be the end of society, right? Like
Or what was
rock
it,
and roll.
Columbine? They blamed it on Marilyn Manson or something like that because the kids were big Marilyn. Like they
Yeah, there's
point the
always going
finger
to
at
be a
anything
scapegoat
other than.
or something that's used to further an agenda.
Mhm.
Video games, same thing. Video games have long been proven to do all the benefits that they've talked about, and they have studies to back these things. However, the addiction of gaming isn't that the games themselves become addictive and they're as addictive as, say, illegal substances or alcohol or even gambling. But um, a lot of times why you see a misdiagnosis with this is because gaming has evolved to include many of the vices which people become addicted to. So by association, people assume it's gaming addiction. For example, let's take the games like, um, for example, any game that uses a loot box system. So we're talking like
Counter-Strike,
Counter-Strike, Overwatch. We're talking about Apex Legends. We're talking about a lot of
League.
these first-person shooters, right? They get a lot of that quick dopamine hit. It's a lot of fast movement. It's a lot of engagement that requires tense concentration to play effectively. So it holds your attention well. Then the feeling of winning or losing stirs up emotions, especially in young adolescent men, females as well. But obviously, there's more men playing these games than females.
Mhm.
Now, the where this comes into play is yes, it's addictive. Yes, you're proud of it. Yes, you're trying to get your high school, whatever. But like anything, it's a sport, right? If you're practicing, you know, 10 hours of the day because you want to be the best you can at basketball, you could be claimed to be addicted to basketball, but it's not seen in such a negative light, right? Well, the thing that, again, where they can't nail it down whether it's an actual disorder to some or the extent of the disorder is because gaming has included all these other disorders. The loot box system is gambling. You're
Mhm.
literally paying money in hopes to win a big prize, and most of the time you get junk. It's gambling for children. Even popular non-video game related games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! All it is a series of loot boxes. You want the best cards. Now you could pay a premium price and go to a card dealer and buy the specific cards you need, but a lot of people enjoy the
It's the
thrill.
thrill of the opening a pack and getting that. I'll admit I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like the term cracking packs open, right?
Mhm.
Well, it's because they're addicted like crack, right? And a lot of people are like, that's not what that means. Believe me, that's what that means.
Oh yeah,
Cracking the
no,
code.
I sat there, I had my little spurt with Pokemon cards, and then I was like, you know what, this isn't fucking worth it. Because for me, it's I don't care about the value of the card, it's just buy if my heart is on a very specific card, I'm gonna be heartbroken if I don't get it. But
Mm.
it's like a I just had a thought and it went away. It's like when League comes out with skins,
Right.
but they're only available at this specific thing, or it's only available if you're doing this specific thing, but you have to spend money to get it, and then you have to keep spending money in order to get these shards or whatever. And I get it. It a game is there to sit there and make money. I understand that. But it's just like when Liam wants to, like, I found out today and I got called the mean mom because I found out Liam has two D's in two classes and he was missing two math assignments. So I told him no video games for the rest of the week.
Oh
For
And
no.
he's acting
for
like
like
it's the end of
two
the
whole days? Oh
yeah,
my
for
goodness.
2 whole days. Oh my gosh. But he's acting like it's the end of the freaking world. And I'm like, it's starting to get nice out. I'm going to start kicking you outside because I'm not having you sit there. But then it's hard because most kids nowadays, that's all they do. So If he wants to go hang out with his friends, they're all playing on games anyways.
Hmm. The social structure and activity of people is so online now
Mm-hmm.
that they really don't know how to really just interact as children with each other anymore after a certain age. It's all online.
Yeah, it's like all of my friends are online. I really do not have anyone I can just call up on the phone and say, "Hey, let's go get coffee." But no, even now though, like I've backed off from gaming like with other people. I've been reading more because it's like
Oh, we know.
it literally is. But the thing is it kind of dawned on me because it's getting nice out that all I do is game. I go to work, I come home and I game, and all these other things used to enjoy got pushed aside. Like my diamond painting, I've had one sitting on my desk for 4 months, not even halfway done, because I feel obligated to have to play games.
Hmm.
I've had books that I've been dying to read, but I set it aside because everybody's like, "Hey, I want you to fly in city. Hey, I want to go do this. Hey, I want to go do that." And so I finally said, "You know what? No, I can talk to everybody through Discord or text, but I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it and not feel bad if I say, "No, you know what? I want to fricking read."
With that said, let's run down some of those signs of, proposed symptoms for internet gaming disorder, and let's see if any of these match with you.
Okay.
A preoccupation with gaming, right? You're obviously obsessed with it, right? That's
Yes.
the preoccupation part. So, experiencing withdrawal symptoms such as anxiety, sadness, or irritability when gaming is taken away or not possible.
Not anymore, but I used to, yes.
Developing a tolerance to gaming, meaning the individual has a need to spend more time gaming to satisfy the urge.
Yes.
Lacking the ability to reduce playing or making unsuccessful attempts to quit gaming.
So far I've been successful, but I'm not going to say that I'm not going to all of a sudden dive back into it. So probably yes.
Giving up other activities or
Yep.
lacking interest in previous enjoyed activities due to gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Continuing to game despite problems it causes.
Yes.
Deceiving family or others about the amount of time spent gaming.
No, because I'm a grown ass adult and I do what I want when I want.
Using gaming to relieve negative moods such as guilt or hopelessness.
Yeah.
Jeopardizing a job or relationship due to gaming.
No.
Now, here's the thing about why these are proposed, right? So a lot of these could be products of social issues.
Mm-hmm.
They can be products or coping mechanisms that aren't necessarily addictive, right? Like if you suffer from depression and you're worried about hurting yourself and your counseling and your normal support system isn't quite getting the job done, a lot of people latch onto a hobby, not just gaming, but in this case, we're talking about gaming,
Yeah.
as a way to escape, as a way to
Yeah.
draw away. I myself,
I do it
um,
when I have a really shitty day. All I want to do is get on a game with friends, laugh, and forget about everything that's been going on.
right. And this has been done with all things, not just gaming, right? People go to the bar and have a drink. People smoke a cigarette with a friend on the porch. The engagement, connection to others, as well as the activity sort of pair well together, right? And so like seasoning on a good steak, they're meant to complement one another. And sometimes those things can, become addictive, right? So I find it interesting because it's hard, and obviously they have been trying to narrow down exactly if it's a disorder or if it's a culmination of other disorders that just so happen to have uh, a like a symbiotic relationship with gaming, right? Like it's often associated with other addictive behaviors, but in and of itself isn't necessarily the main cause all the time. It's more like fuel to the fire as opposed to something else, right? Like what I used to hear a lot of was people would say, if you're addicted to internet or addicted to video games, it diminishes your social capacity.
See,
Your
I disagree with that because everybody's on the internet and you can make friends with anybody across the world.
Well, friends is a funny word, right? And I'm glad you brought this up
Mm-hmm.
because Facebook, I could have 1,000
Oh,
friends on Facebook or Instagram or whatever platform I'm using, but they're
see, I
not
don't count that.
really
Sorry.
my friends necessarily, right? If someone's your friend, you generally don't just block them out of your life. You don't just mute them or delete them or forcibly remove them from your circle of friends or whatever, right? Because that's not how real relationships work. But with an online relationship, all you have to do is just block someone,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I think that that disconnect in humanity, that you're not going to see this person face to face, you don't have to face the consequences of your actions per se, gives people this sort of anonymity where they tend to be more dismissive of others. They
Hmm.
tend to see them more as numbers and commodities and less as actual people, right? They kind of talked about this. It's getting a little bit off the topic, but they talked about this with the modern warfare and how things are changing, right? Because if you're a drone pilot, it's like playing a video game. If you could blow up and you're killing hundreds of people, but from your perspective, you're just seeing some glowing people on a screen and you're pulling a plastic trigger. It's far different than staring your adversary in the eye and pulling the trigger of a gun, right? So it's sort of like a way almost like to desensitize yourself from the true emotional investment in a relationship. Now, this isn't to be said you can't have a real relationship, but I think at some point there is a measure where addiction takes over. And in a relationship, I think the same is true. I think there's a point where you can't be just online, where it has to take that next step, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, there will always be sort of a void or a gap in that relationship. That being said, I think it goes with the old saying of out of sight, out of mind, right? Like I used to have very deep connections with people online, but still, when my computer turned off, I didn't necessarily dwell on them as I'm going about my work day and talking to people in real life and all that. They were sort of there when I was in the moment on that. And I think online gaming is the same way when it comes to addictive properties and to some lesser degree in general. I think in the moment, whatever it's providing you, that's just it. It's providing you that in the moment. So in that moment, it doesn't feel like you're addicted. It doesn't feel like you're out of control. It feels like you're doing what's right. But the aftermath is what comes of it. The irritability, the anxiety, the sadness, the inability to focus, all the things that normally come with withdrawal and addiction, right? And in my experience, a lot of quote unquote video game addiction isn't really physical um, results. It's more mental and behavioral, right? It's a matter of like,
I'm happier playing the games I want to play when I want to play them.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the people are bucking against freedom and individuality, and they bring into the argument of fairness, right? Children do this with their parents, like I know what's better for you, but do they know what's better for you? I'm not saying don't listen to your parents. I'm just saying that you have to it makes the child as they're developing wonder, right? Back in the day, it was all about getting a car or getting your driver's license, right? And
Hmm.
that was your sense of freedom to get away and outside the grip of your parents for a little while, going on camping trips with friends or parties or to a concert in another state or another city, right? All of these things are ways to sort of not rebel, but just sort of express yourself and explore the world, right? And feel like you're kind of on your own and under your own.
Yeah, it gives you freedom.
Yeah. And video games are, in a way, the same thing, right? I see kids who play games designed for a mature audience. The themes contained therein really aren't designed for them.
Hmm.
But, to them, they want to do the grown-up thing, right? When you're a little kid, you wanted to wear your mom's clothes or you wanted to, do the thing and work on the car or whatever it was that mom and dad were doing because you see them doing it. And now we live in an internet and cyber age. The parents of these children, especially these next couple of generations, have grown up with video games, grown up with the internet. And so they see them as adults playing Counter-Strike, see them, logging on to Apex, playing Fortnite, right? I mean, it's funny, but if there's any younger people in our listening crowd, your dads and moms are playing Fortnite. Fortnite's old. It's not new now, right?
Oh yeah. Or it's like kids nowadays being like, "Oh, I play League of Legends," and be like, "Honey, I've been playing that for a decade."
Yep.
Right.
I can't wait to like the new generation's gonna be like, oh, you play Roblox? Ew, goomer boomer. Like,
Well, it's just like just this last weekend, I played Fortnite. And I can never tell because I'm sitting there, I was like, I wonder how many kids actually like I've been in a lobby with. Because I play with Liam. But see, the thing is he was playing Fortnite and then I tried it to play with him. And oh my God, is that kid good? But like he plays Roblox. I have no want, but he wants to play GTA, and I'm like, no,
Mm,
no. Like I know someone who runs their own GTA server, and they let their kid in when no one else is in to let them like feel like they're a big kid, but they're even younger than Liam, and I'm just like,
I think that's all
although
depends on the parent. I can't
yeah,
say anything.
definitely a
I
topic we need
wouldn't.
to put on the list of things to discuss. But yeah, that's been an age-old topic for a long time. I used to let my son watch like horror movies, and people are like, he's gonna have nightmares. You're a terrible parent.
I and like that's the thing with me is I cut Liam off at a specific time for gaming, but since it is getting nice out now, have been kicking him out more. And yeah, he fights me on it, but he still goes out. He still goes out and play. Whereas for me, I never wanted to be home because of my home life. So I loved being out. Where him, he gets his freedom here, where he's able to do what he wants when he wants. Well, to the most part. But now you
To,
got me wondering if my kid's gonna be addicted to video games.
oh no.
Not
Speaking of addictions, how about addictions to snackles?
snack. What the
It's a
hell are
food addiction, yes.
snackles?
It's a food addiction. Yes,
No,
salt,
specifically snackles.
sweets,
What are snackles?
snacks.
Yes.
And just like a large array of snacks? Is it a
I
very specific
crave
type of snacks?
I crave sugar constantly.
Yeah. It's like having a 40-year-old toddler.
Yeah, it is definitely an addiction.
I mean, I like my snacks, but I wouldn't say I'm addicted to them because there are days where all I'll do is snack all day and maybe have like one big meal. And then there are days where I just won't snack at all.
Then you're not addicted to snacks.
Yeah, so I at least can say I'm not addicted to snacks.
Yeah.
I will admit I maybe ordered two things off of Amazon that were snacks, and they're pretty
So
bomb.
when I eat sugar, I crave salt. When I eat salt, I crave sugar.
You're like me then. Because so like I got Nutella biscuits and then I got Dots pretzels, a variety pack. And so I ate a bag of pretzels, but then I was like, I want something sweet. So then I ate a couple of the biscuits and then I wanted another bag of pretzels.
Mm, yeah, it's pretty bad. We have
Oh,
6 minutes left of our recording.
Gee, Jess, way to take up all the time.
I didn't take up all the time. No,
I
it's
was joking.
interesting though, like because I've never heard anyone even consider video games as being able to be addicted to. Uh, uh, just because like I've never ran into someone that would consider a video game addiction because like I guess it sounds bad, but I think of addiction as like the stereotypical your whole entire life's going to be destroyed. Like gambling, you can gamble your house away, your life savings, your 401k, getting like debt with a loan shark. I actually no. So at the beginning of COVID, I was playing this phone game and I didn't realize how much I was spending on said phone game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I literally forced myself to not play the game anymore because of it. Like
Yep.
I thought I was bad with League spending like over $2,000 within like an 8-year period on skins because I'm like, they're pixelated colors on a freaking screen. Like there's no value to them. You can't resell them or anything like that. And after a while, I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, well, think of all the extra money I've spent on Final Fantasy 14 for different outfits. When people pay to go into a city, or they pay to have a one-to-one car, they pay for a very specific thing to be placed into a city just for them. Like, it kind of makes me wonder why we even bother spending and wasting money on things that aren't actually tangible.
Well, that is definitely another concept we got to get into. But yes, people will always buy things because it's something. They want a thing, they get a thing, right?
Like, ooh, shiny. I want this.
Why do rich people buy a fleet of cars that they never use, or boats that they don't sail on?
Status.
But even status, right? Like, who cares? You're going to take the time to drive someone down to the marina to talk about your boat?
Well, no, but you can take pictures, but look at my boat.
Yeah, and you can take a picture of a random boat and say, "Look at this boat," right?
That's
Like,
true.
it's really just calling it my boat, right?
Yeah.
Because you wanted it, so you bought it. And I think that's really what addiction is, right? Addiction at the end of the day is the desire to have a thing. And then whatever it is that you like about it is to continue to have it. When you're a kid, right? Every kid in the world, pretty more than most part, is like, I would eat all the ice cream there ever was. Like that's that, right? Because that's the most delicious thing ever. And as you evolve, your taste buds evolve. There's other things you enjoy, more complicated flavors, whatever. But for kids, a lot of times some of the best food in the world tastes like garbage to them because to them they really just like sweet, or they really just like sour, or they really just like, they're very simplistic in their palate choices for the most part. And I think that addiction, follows that symmetry. I think people aren't like, man, I love cocaine. It's the best ever. Right. Like, but at some level, they do it more than pot because it gets them the better high. It gets them whatever it is about that particular drug that's their jam. Right. If they were just addicted to drugs in general, then why aren't they just doing drugs in general? Now, there's some people who are. Some people are just like, I'll take a little bit of everything. But even people who have a choice usually still have a preference.
Yeah. Just like when I was in like full-blown active addiction, I had one very specific thing I would want more than the others. I would settle for others, but everybody has, it's called a drug of choice, which means you would do anything to be able to get your hands on it, pretty much. It's just like, and this is going to sound weird, I've tried both different types of strands of vapes now, and I have a very particular one is what I will stick with now because I like the way it makes me feel. It's different than the other one, and it's more calming and relaxing.
Have you seen the oxygen vapes now that they're coming out with?
I was told to look it up and look at it. I haven't yet though.
Yep. Their whole thing is it's just flavored air, like the old flavored air bars that came out in like the
Yeah.
90s and stuff and early 2000s. It's like that.
Oh.
It's literally just vapes and it's no nicotine. There's no chemicals in it.
So
It's
could
just
it
a
maybe
flavor.
help
It's like
someone?
huffing air freshener
So
essentially
would it
without the
be
chemicals.
maybe able to help someone to quit smoking if they
Yeah.
have that?
That's what they're saying. It's an alternative. Now, I don't know how effective it is. I've never
Yeah.
had a problem smoking. I don't know. The thought of just huffing flavored air to me is terrible. I had
We have less
Yeah.
than a minute. We have less than a minute, guys. I'm so sorry.
Okay, like, subscribe, share, join Patreon, and you'll get feet
You
pics.
want those feet pics? Yep, hit them up. She's got them
Thanks
for.
for
She got
being
60
here. We'll
feet
see you
pics, 12
next
feet
time.
pics.
Bye.
Bye.
That's the messiest ending ever.
Sorry, usually you give us more of a.
I gave you a 6-minute warning.
Yeah, but I didn't pay attention to what time you said that at.